Hi everyone. This is a review of the DV6 which I've just received this morning from my friend Martin. Obviously this is Darth Vader's Return of the Jedi stunt saber. So with this particular build I chose to go with a vintage Graflex as the base unit. So the top here was a vintage Graflex that I had spare and wasn't being used for any other projects. The lower portion is a replica. It's a Graflex bottom cell from TGS, and the rest of the kit is, so all of this in the middle, these screws, everything else basically, the shroud, all of that is from WannaWanga's DV6 conversion kit. This is probably the most accurate version that you can get. I did used to own an 89 Sabres DV6, which was quite good, and when it's weathered up properly, it looks quite nice too. But this is by far the most accurate sort of iteration of the DV6 that you can get. Not to say that you have to use a vintage, of course not, but using a Graflex top and bottom as a base unit and just modifying it and using WannaWanga's kit is going to give you the most accurate look. So just to start off, I'm just going to let you know that Martin is an amazing artist based in the UK. He just does phenomenal work, lots of attention to detail. He's got hundreds of reference photos and things like that. So I just trust him to do complicated hilts like that I can't sort of handle on my own. I did do a little bit just to kind of lighten the load a bit, also because I enjoy it. So I started off the process with the lower part. I did sort of the grips. I kind of cut them down to length, rounded them, and gave them the 30-degree ends that you can see here. And then I placed them accurately with a grip guide that I got, I think, from Nate from Iron Destiny Props. And then before that there's 3 holes here that have got to be in the right location. 1, 2, and where's the third one? Right here. It's just partially covered with that grip. But you can get the template printed off from WannaWanga, basically wrap it around the lower portion there and drill these holes so that they're in the precise location, relative to the rest of the saber. So I did the 3 holes and then I did the grips. I scratched and weathered them up a bit. One of the grips is meant to be bent. There it is. I actually messed up on the first one I did because you have to do it under a little bit of heat and that causes it to shrink slightly. So I had to get another one and redo it. So that one is bent. And then there's another grip. Where is it? It's on the top somewhere, that one. It's, if you can see from the profile there, it's kind of trimmed down. It's like thinned. So these are all accurate reference photos that I've used from Iron Destiny Props. I just based that off of what he'd done for other commissions. So yeah, that narrow one down there and the bent grip. So I'd done all those. And then I did a little bit of rusting effect in between, just to give it a more weathered appearance. And obviously I secured the cobalt, which is obviously a replica that comes with the DV6 kit from WannaWanga. I scratched it up and weathered it. All of these like nicks and things, they're all accurate. They're all based on, they're not sort of random. I actually went through all the close-ups I could find and tried to replicate them as closely as possible. Popped the rivets in, rusted up the D-ring. The bottom there, because it's going to be a stamped Graflex, so that's actually covered with a thin little cut up piece of brass that was painted by Martin, and he just sent this to me when I was starting on this. So then I had the whole lower section ready to go, And with the top, basically the top of the Graflex, you just kind of strip it down, you gut it, you take out all the internals and everything, and you bend those two tabs down that go against the bunny ears. You bend them right down, but do be careful doing that, because I actually snapped that one off. And you know, being a vintage Graflex, I kind of gave myself a little heart attack, but luckily I was able to use some JB Weld, and it's stuck on. You don't even see it anymore, so it's fine. Just be careful when you do that. Yeah, so I just got that bit ready for Martin. So this part, as I said, is a vintage. There's a pin. It's just got one pin. And I sent it off to Martin for the rest of the commission. So he's done 99% of the work. I don't really take any credit for this. I just did a little bit of the easy work on the bottom section here. So Martin has painted the band section here and the clamp, and I wish I had better lighting, but you can see some of the detail here. Just look at that, those little kind of scratches in the paint. It's just phenomenal. There's so much attention to detail. Nothing is random. That thing there, I forget what it's called, but it's meant to be kind of tilted sideways. It's not meant to be dead on straight like the Corbanth and 89 sabers. It's meant to kind of tilt to the side a bit. This was probably the most challenging part for him, is drilling these holes because they're massive, and securing these screws in. So these hex screws I had already rusted up for him, because I've seen them painted. They're really nice painted too. I like rust. Anything I can rust, I'll do it with rust instead. So I'd rusted up already for him, and he drilled the holes in and secured them to the core that's inside. These scratches and dents, again, nothing is random. These are all based on reference pictures. It's all completely accurate. Up here, down here, these 6, 7 sort of little lines. Right, we have a visitor, I'm afraid. Here's a cat. There she is. Sorry about that. Just took her to the vet this morning, so she's not very happy. Yeah, the rest of this was all painted as well. A bit more paint here on the shroud. And just look at these blotches of paint, all these wrinkles. Because he'd done several coats of paint and just made sure to get that wrinkle effect accurate. Yeah, I could never do something like this. Unfortunately, I'm not very good with paint in general. I'm sort of good with rust. I'm good with a little bit of weathering, but paint is just where I just draw the line. I'm just a sloppy painter. So thank you very much, Martin. This looks amazing. Yeah, so happy with that and how it turned out. It's really, really accurate. The D-ring, again, is meant to sit kind of wonky, tilted to the side. Again, that's another one I sort of rusted up before I sent it off to him. And the pin here, again, I rusted that one up. I just prefer the way it looks, personally. I'm not sure if it's accurate, but I think it... I mean, I think these parts are probably rusty on the real prop, just because they're so aged. So, yeah, I prefer how it looks. But, you know, if you want to paint them instead, that's completely fine. I've seen most people paint them instead. So yeah, that's it really. So again, DV6, Darth Vader's stunt saber from Return of Jedi. Massive thanks, first of all, to Roy from WannaWanga for doing this very, very accurate conversion kit, which is really easy to assemble and put together. Obviously, I couldn't do it on my own because I just don't have a drill that or drill bits that, you know, would drill holes that big. I just don't have the skill, or maybe not. I just don't have the confidence really to do anything so complicated. But I'm sure most of you watching can pull this off very easily, you know. So yeah, shout out to Roy from WannaWanga, Martin, who I will link in the description if you guys want to talk to him about any commissions, anything like painting, weathering, assembly. I'm not sure he does a lot of like FX installs and stuff like that anymore. I think he probably enjoys putting hills more than putting hills together rather than FX installation. He's not much of a an FX lightsaber person. So yeah, Martin, and also Nate from Iron Destiny Props, who helped me out with the grip guide, and also just for being so great in the community. He does incredible work as well, Nate. If you're based in the US and Nate isn't busy, I mean, I would highly recommend him. He's done a lot of Jesse's sabers. Jesse is you'll probably know him from Kyberphonic. Nate's done a lot of his hilts as well. He's done an amazing job as well. Yeah, so thank you to everyone who helped me out to bring this saber to life, and thank you all for watching and for your continued support and feedback as always. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.